The Shurangama Sutra, translated by the Buddhist Text Translation Society and read by Angus Cargill. Volume 2. Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Ananda, although you have already realized that the wonderful, bright, fundamental enlightenment is not originated by conditions, nor is it originated by spontaneity, you have not yet understood that the source of enlightenment does not originate from mixing and uniting, or from a lack of mixing and uniting. Ananda, now I will once again make use of the mundane objects before you to question you. You now hold that false thoughts mix and unite with the causes and conditions of everything in the world, and you wonder if the body-heart one realizes might arise from mixing and uniting. To follow that line of thinking right now, does the wonderful pure seeing essence mix with light? Does it mix with darkness? Does it mix with penetration? Or does it mix with obstructions? If it mixed with light, then when you looked at light, when light appeared before you, at what point would it mix with your seeing? Given that seeing has certain attributes, what would the altered shape of such a mixture be? If that mixture were not the seeing, how could you see the light? If it were the seeing, how could the seeing see itself? If you insist that seeing is complete, what room would there be for it to mix with the light? And if light were complete in itself, it could not unite and mix with the seeing. If seeing were different from light, then when mixed together, both its quality and the light would lose their identity. Since the mixture would result in the loss of the light and the quality of seeing, the proposal that the seeing essence mixes with light doesn't hold. The same principle applies to its mixing with darkness, with penetration, or with all kinds of solid objects. Moreover, Ananda, as you are right now, once again, does the wonderful pure seeing essence unite with light? Does it unite with darkness? Does it unite with penetration? Or does it unite with solid objects? If it united with light, then when darkness came and the attributes of light ceased to be, how could you see darkness, since the seeing would not be united with darkness? If you could see darkness, and yet at the same time there was no union with darkness, but rather a union with light, you should not be able to see light. Since you could not be seeing light, then why is it that when your seeing comes in contact with light, it recognizes light, not darkness? Since you could not be seeing light, then why is it that when your seeing comes in contact with light, it recognizes light, not darkness? The same would be true of its union with darkness, with penetration, or with... Ananda said to the Buddha, "Bhagavan, as I consider it, the source of this wonderful enlightenment does not mix or unite with any conditioned mundane objects, or with mental speculation. Is that the case?" The Buddha said, "Now you want to say that the enlightened nature neither mixes nor unites. So now I ask you further. As to this wonderful seeing essence's neither mixing nor uniting, does it not mix with light? Does it not mix with darkness? Does it not mix with penetration? Does it not mix with solid objects? If it does not mix with light, then there should be a boundary between seeing and light. Examine it closely. At what point is there light? At what point is there seeing? Where are the boundaries of the seeing and the light? Ananda, if there were no seeing with the boundaries of light, then there would be no contact between them, and clearly one would not know what the attributes of light were. Then how could its boundaries be defined? As to its not mixing with darkness, with penetration, or with any kind of solid object, the principle would be the same. Moreover, as to the wonderful seeing essences, neither mixing nor uniting. Does it not unite with light? Does it not unite with darkness? Does it not unite with penetration? Does it not unite with solid objects? If it did not unite with light, then the seeing and the light would be at odds with each other by their nature, as are the ear and the light, which do not come in contact. Since the seeing would not know what the attributes of light were, how could it determine clearly whether there is union? As to its not uniting with darkness, with penetration, or with any kind of solid object, the principle would be the same. Ananda, you have not yet understood that all the defiling objects that appear, all the illusory ephemeral phenomena, spring up in the very spot where they also come to an end. Their phenomenal aspects are illusory and false, but their nature is in truth the bright substance of wonderful enlightenment. Thus it is throughout, up to the 5 skandhas and the 6 entrances, to the 12 places and the 18 realms. The union and mixture of various causes and conditions account for their illusory and false existence, and the separation and dispersion of the causes and conditions result in their illusory and false extinction. Who would have thought that production and extinction, coming and going, are fundamentally the eternal, wonderful light of the Tathagata, the unmoving, all-pervading perfection, the wonderful nature of true suchness.